Check. Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is your man, Dr. Dave, with a quick hitter. As you can see, live from the archives is not live from the archives. I'm out in these, I'm out in these streets. I'm where the sirens swim. Isn't that right, Mark? I'm at my homie Mark's house. The sirens be swimming out here in the land, like down the street. That's not true in the lake. We got a lake, man. Hey, Mark, people be saying that Cleveland is landlocked. You think Cleveland is landlocked? I'm gonna arm wrestle him when we done. He just messed me up. No, you're probably right. The debate is all about. He's saying it is landlocked, but debate really sits on: is there a direct path to the ocean? And there's like canals and stuff we can use to get from Lake Erie to the ocean. That's it. Or in the Mississippi River. Yeah. God damn it. We still got a lot of water though. Use my language. God damn it. Yeah, that was bad language. Yeah, I'm at my homie Mark's. He's hosting me while I come check out family. Um, so yeah, let's hop to it. Let's hop to it. So this is just a quick hitter. I'm away from home. Um, so I want us to check out. I got us a book here on electric cars. So and you can't even see it. The light situation looks all right. I'm gonna push it up. Push it up. Boom, boom, boom. But you can see right here, Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry, right? And actually, I just want to change this up a little bit so y'all get a better view. Right on. All right. You see, I messed it up. There we go. Electric cars. And what's bugged out about this book one is from the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. Shout out to them. That's from the 1970s, y'all. Let's fix this up. So, everybody riding they trashy little Teslas. They're not trashy. I just, obviously the man who makes them is trashy. Fuck Elon Musk. I don't know if it's okay to say that, if it's appropriate, but I just said it. Yeah, electric cars. I'm just turning it hopefully so that you can get a good look at the actual title. I'm using a different document camera than usual, so I'm trying to get the way that it looks right. We getting there, y'all. There we go. There we go. So again, I'm trying to pull this down so you can see the top. Written by E. John DeWard, Aaron Klein, and this book is from 1977. You can see that right there. So what happened, man? Why did it take us this long to get electric cars? I know there's a movie that's out there, um, Who Killed the Electric Car? I haven't seen it. I read a couple of little, summaries of it. And from what I could read, it kind of kicks off in the 90s. So it's interesting to see that we were talking about these things back in the 70s. Um, and as I said, this is made by a museum. So, no, definitely one of the things in my research, I want people to see all the things that museums do besides like show people exhibits. And museums and people do work through museums to produce all kind of shit, including books on electric cars. Boom, you see it. All right, so let's just take a quick look at the table of contents. Rise and fall, the electric car, the source of energy. Rise and fall. In 77, we're talking about the rise and fall. How does the electric motor work? Seems about right for a science museum. Controls and the future of the electric car. And one of the things that's kind of sad and troubling about this whole thing is that this was imagining a future that never had an opportunity to come, right? So the rise and fall, they talk about it going all the way back to the early 20th century. We're talking the 1900s. And so electric cars themselves are not new. It was an option. It was something that people had. And, in reading through the book, there were definitely pros and cons to gas versus electric. But what's striking is that even though they were around this early, they were still wiped out. And part of it had to do with the power that came from gas. Um, both as like a source of fuel in an engine, but then also the power of gas companies to limit things like this. So yeah, dig that. This is the Columbia Electrics. They were made from 1875 to 1916. Columbia automobiles, electric and gasoline. We talking the late 19th century, y'all. 1875, these electric cars were around. So they've been. This is not new. None of this is new. Your boy, your boy, Elon Musk, smell. He ain't. I mean, I could have told you he wasn't shit, but like, let this tell you, like, he ain't doing nothing out here. He really isn't. I mean, he's taking other people's information, info, and what his dad like his dad was in apartheid, right? Yeah, he hated man. Fuck that dude. Fuck Musk. Anyway, um, so yeah, they go through their history, and no point in going through all that. But a couple things I did want to point out, and I got these darts in here. Let's just jump to the future because this came out in 1977, so we're existing in the future that the people who wrote this book imagined. And what's kind of cool is that two teachers wrote this book. And both of these people, E. John DeWard, Aaron Klein, both of them have training in the sciences, both of them classroom teachers. So it's kind of dope they're coming at it from both sides. But in any event, let's just check out this little passage here. There can be little doubt that electric cars of one kind or another will become a greater part of the transportation scene in the years ahead. The world supply of petroleum is not infinite. Indeed, it is quite limited. Over the long view, the quote, petroleum age, end quote, may turn out to be one of the shortest, quote unquote, ages in history. It is no small irony that one of the shortest ages in human history will have taken one of the longest periods of geological history for its preparation. So the petroleum, the gas that we use, it was made during the Carboniferous period, millions and millions and millions of years ago. And they call it the Carboniferous period because it was just so many plants. Um, and those plants, they break down, the carbon breaks down. Long story short, we end up with petroleum. So we ain't getting no new petroleum no time soon. Unless no, we're not. We're not. I can't unless that unless we're gonna, teleport a few million years in the future and bring something that you see what I'm saying? That's stupid. It's stupid. But what they're expecting to happen didn't happen, right? Like it's not like this new electric age came that we were hoping to see. And they also are really talking about things that we have to be thinking about now. If they're imagining the future of the electric car and how an electric car could fit into society, they're really clear-eyed about the fact that society has to change. Things have to change around the car. Historians of technology, they talk about technological systems, right? Like you can't, like one thing, like even like you take your iPhone, right, or a smartphone, it requires Wi-Fi. It requires whether it's 5G, whether it's a home Wi-Fi system. It requires charging tools, right? Like you need all the chargers. It requires home electricity to power. You see what I'm saying? Like as you keep going step and step out, even though this one technology might seem like, oh, that's the thing, it requires a whole system. And so the same is true of an electric car. It's going to require a whole system. And this is what they imagine that system would look like. Electric cars might also change the pattern of use and even the building of roads and streets. Special lanes may be set aside for them on expressways. They might have other special lanes into and out of shopping districts. They might be permitted in places where internal combustion cars will not be permitted at all. More and more cities are building pedestrian shopping malls served by public transportation rather than by remote parking lots. Electrics, at least the quote unquote free electric shopping cart, may have special lanes here too. Shopping centers, entertainment centers, and streets generally will probably undergo changes to accommodate different models of transportation. So we're talking more walkable cities. And we're starting to see this right with the bike lanes. Like these are things that we understand we've been accommodating. Like it's not past us to be able to do these things. We just have been wasting decades. Like they were talking about this in 77. Imagine if that had been put into place in 77 or in the early 80s. If in the early 80s we had electric cars that we were riding, what would be the state of the infrastructure for that now? right? How many charging spots would there be? Would there be special? You see what I'm saying? Like there's the bike lanes and things that show us we can add these things, we can change these things if we just have the will to do it, right? Of course, that's the situation we're in now, is the will to do it. And so, this one last passage, I just wanted to read y'all because I think it gives us a lot to reflect on. It is true that the electric centered city of the future described here will require massive doses of money, effort, and technological expertise. In effect, a whole new technology. It may sound impossible, but a whole technology was developed to take advantage of petroleum. 50 years ago, the present system of interstate highways and freeways seemed like a visionary's dream. But enough people wanted, or at least thought they wanted, automobiles to make millions of automobiles and the highways on which to run them a reality. So if enough people want pollution-free transportation in the form of electric cars, enough to pay for it, they will have it. It's only a matter of time. Do we have it? I mean, we certainly don't have what he's talking about there, like the kind of full-fledged change in society. And it's easy to take it for granted now, but there weren't these highways before. Actually, my daughter had went out to LA, and she was talking about how not walkable it is and how it's kind of built for cars. So even she's seeing we live outside Philadelphia. It's a very walkable area. She could tell the difference. She could see the places that are built for cars. But you had to imagine a city. LA had to be imagined as a place for cars, right? And the whole way the city is laid out, it's possible to rebuild a society around a new technology. And that's what they're arguing here. Um, I don't know. Are we close to this? Are we not close to this? Um, that's something that probably requires more thought. But I think the biggest point is I don't know that we can continue to afford to lose decades and decades of progress on things that can really make a difference in how we live, how safe we are. Um, like a whole world is possible, um, and we don't have to wait for it. We don't have to wait for it. So shout out to the homies E. John DeWard and Aaron Klein putting together this book. This was like a $10 holla on eBay. Um, answers are out there. There's no magic coming from the sky. Um, quite a bit of the answers may well be behind us. So, I'm gonna stay in these archives. Thank y'all for hanging with me. 15 minutes. I told you it was gonna be a quick hitter, man. In and out. Just getting the muscle memory down. Thank y'all for stopping through. One.